tell us about Islam 21C project. What is it and how the youth can benefit from it?
So Islam 21C, it was set up under an organization called the Muslim Research and Development Foundation in 2006, right. MRDF. Yeah. MRDF's core focus is to build people and provide guidance.
Okay.
Building people, we have organizations like Sabil who do tarbiyah programs, you know, 3-year program and retreats and classes and that kind of stuff. The providing guidance part was one of the projects is Islam 21C. Okay. It's an online publication which the original tagline was articulating Islam in the 21st century. Hence the 21C. Eventually it became more and more active and bigger, and it became its own independent organization. And we have one of the biggest strengths is also kind of a weakness, because it's hard to describe and articulate this properly, but Islam 21C, it can't be really pigeonholed as a very specific type of site. It's not. We do news, we do analysis of current affairs, we do tafsir, we do tadabbur, we do fatawa for modern issues, we do spiritual reminders. So it's all interconnected in that way, and that really that's a reflection of our principles and our da'wah, which is there's no Islam box and real life box. It's all one, right? The knowledge, whether it's knowledge about Allah or the creation of Allah or anything, it's all interconnected, right? And one of the things that humbled me is I did a Youth Matters podcast, and the brother, I think he's one of your colleagues, Hamas. I was joking, I went to Pakistan and I met Hamas. Not that Hamas. But he was saying, years ago, 2012, we read your articles on Islam 21C about niqab ban or something like that. And I was humbled, so many people, and we have people all around the world, anyone in English-speaking kind of Muslim regions, they read. We have lots of content from a diverse array of scholars, activists, just average mums and dads sharing reflections and stuff, news, analysis, parenting tips, and he was saying the things that are affecting Pakistan now. Already kind of the lobbies and the groups, they affected us in the UK and European countries as well, the creeping kind of muscular liberalism and neo-imperialism here. It's originating from those countries, so they benefited from some of the analyses and the activism of Muslims in the UK and Europe. So alhamdulillah, that's one way you can all benefit, inshallah. And one way you can benefit is to write. One of the things that we pride ourselves in is having a place where Muslims can be authors of their own narratives, not characters in someone else's stories. When we have a platform, you can hone your own skills as writers. People might not realize that they have a passion for writing, and they can get involved in this website, submit articles and get feedback, to improve their writing skills and have somewhere to test out some ideas and stuff. I always say, if you can't write something down, or if you're making an important decision, write down your thoughts first. It forces you to actually realize. Sometimes you might have an idea, an opinion that you have. When you actually write it down, you say, actually, this doesn't make sense. What was I thinking?
Happens a lot,
right? But we just sometimes we don't have that same filtration process for our thinking. But when you actually write it down and see your points, and you can see is it coherent or not, it really helps.
Alhamdulillah, barakallah, mashallah. Okay, so this is a very difficult question, and we get asked this question many a times by the youth, that Islam is full of wisdom, Quran is full of wisdom, prophetic teachings are full of wisdom, but when we look at the Muslims and the Muslim countries in particular, and when we compare them with the Western countries, we see that West has advanced a lot in infrastructure, in establishing values, in establishing social justice, and almost every standard is coming from West, to be honest. So where did we go wrong when Muslims had such a treasure? What actually happened?
So it's an interesting question. I mean, there's a famous comedian in the UK. I won't mention his name because start researching some of the dodgy stuff. He said, you know, XYZ is a complex social phenomenon. It's not a ticking noise in your washing machine. Yeah. I.e., it's not going to have one cause. These things have multiple causes, you know. And the answer to that question will probably reflect more about me than the actual facts on the ground or historical record or whatever. Because if I'm interested in, you know, Aqidah, I'm going to say the reason why we reduced our strength because of our Aqidah. If I'm interested in economics and finance, I'm going to say the reason why, you know, we are behind is because our resources have been taken and economics and stuff. The truth is, this is something for historians, critical historians, to debate over and argue over. But what are you going to do now? That's the more important thing, right? You can talk about why this happened, what happened, and there's some elephants in the room, right? Like our societies and Muslim majority world were systematically disassembled